Hey, look, isn't it nice to do a normal show? Holy cow, was I tired last night and all day today. I woke up at 4 a.m. I think I was buzzing from the excitement. I went to bed after midnight. I slept 4 hours. I had a really good time. I'm so glad all of you were there. Oh, it was like my voice disappeared and then I exaggerated it. Well, thanks for joining me yet again for Have I Told You the One About Month 2. Tonight we are doing The Mechanic. So, do I need to tell you things in advance? All I want to say is I really want to thank my husband for last night because at the last minute he said, "Do you need some help? Should I stick around?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah, you could totally stick around." And it was manic backstage. You have no idea how close we were. I looked at the time and I had 1 minute to going live. I was like, Jesus, I better get things together. So that's why we were a little delayed. And the beauty of having another person here, the magic of the universe, is that when I was telling my chicken and frog joke, I didn't even know I had a chicken in the room. Francis just handed me the chicken. The chicken came from nowhere. And suddenly I had a chicken prop. So that's pretty darn sweet. Thanks to him, I'm glad I married the right one. So tonight, the mechanic. Oh, this is a bit of a nail biter. So back when I was single and I was living in Kelowna, I'd moved here and I think I'd been here a couple of years, maybe it must have been 4 years. So it wasn't long before I met Francis. I've been living here 4 years. I was still single. I was still lonely. I was still depressed. And I met this man on the interwebs, on Grindr. He said that he was a straight guy and he was just starting to come out and he works. And I park my car and I'm supposed to just knock on the door. And I noticed that the door is like a foot off the ground. There's a lip to the door. So when the door opens, I don't know why that is. It's like to keep the rats in or something. So you have to step over this 1 foot high barrier to get in. So I knock on the door and he opens the door and he has a nice face. So I go in. And when I step over the lip thinking it's so odd that it's here. And he closes the door and he locks it with a key that he then puts in his pocket. And I'm inside a garage. And I'm like, okay, that's a little odd because now I can't get out unless he lets me out with the key. But whatever. So sure enough, he's like 5'10". He probably weighs 250 pounds. He's full of muscle, shaved head, nice face. And we're standing in there. There's, a car being repaired and its engine is out of its chassis. And there's, all kinds of things around, tools around and everything. And I sort of stand there and he locks the door and pockets the key. And I make note of where the key is in his pocket. And he just kind of stands there and doesn't say very much. And I say, "So, hi." And he says, "Hi." And he doesn't make eye contact. And I'm like, okay, this guy's nervous. And I said, "How you doing?" And he said, I tried to sound a little butch. I would probably sound more like, "How you doing?" How's that? Did I fool you? How you doing? And he said, "I'm okay," or something like that. And he was kind of grunty. He was kind of like pre-verbal. And he still wouldn't maintain eye contact. And while I was standing there, I noticed that his jaw started tensing. So I could see the muscles in his jaw moving. He was clenching his jaw over and over again. And he was sort of moving his hands into fists and clenching them. And I thought, okay, this is odd. He must be really uncomfortable. I don't really feel that comfortable, but I'll just get him talking and I'll set him at ease. And, whatever happens, happens. Maybe we'll make out, maybe not. Maybe I'll go home. Who cares? So I try to ask some more questions. I say, "So you're just, sort of coming out and are you a little nervous?" And he sort of shook his head. Yeah. I'm like, okay, well, we don't have to do anything. We could just talk. We could just hang out. We don't have to do anything that you're not comfortable with. You just let me know what you feel like doing. And I'm super fine if you just want to have a conversation. And he didn't really respond. He was just sort of shrugged and looked away. And I was sort of, and every once in a while he did look at me, but only for a brief minute. And it felt to me like maybe he was having some kind of very complicated conversation in his head. It felt to me like he was trying to parse a whole bunch of things out and he was organizing his thoughts, working through. And you know this, right? From when you were in the closet and you were terrified and you wanted to come out. You sort of have to talk yourself into things. You have to start filing things. I remember looking at myself in the mirror and saying, "You're just gay. Like that's your problem or whatever. That's what's going on with you. You're gay." And I thought to myself, oh, he's having one of those conversations. I know those conversations in his head. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll just keep talking to him and, who knows? But then he still wasn't responsive. I was just chit chatting and he didn't. And I was trying to, I told him a little story about what I did today or something. I was just trying to make it seem normal that I would be there and we would be talking. And he continued to be very tense and really intense. And then I said, well, you know what? I don't need to even be here. Like I could go home. We don't have to do anything. We could try this another time. We could have a conversation some other time. I could be a resource for you, something like that. I was trying to be really friendly. Like if you're having a hard time coming out, I could be a decent person and you could have a secret friend. And he said, I'm okay. I just did coke. And so I'm a little tense. I'm trying to relax. And I don't even think he said it I just think he said it in fewer words than that. I did coke, feeling intense, try to relax. I was like, yeah, you and me both. And so then I realized I really wasn't in control of the situation. The coke was in control of the situation. I was in this garage with a guy who was at least twice my weight, probably. Well, yeah, probably twice my weight. And he knew the place better than I did. And so I thought, okay, he's got the key. I just better be careful. So I started looking around the shop to see what was there. What tools were near his hands? What could he pick up quickly? If he did pick something up, where would I go? Could I go? There was a little platform that there was like a little sort of desk space where all the tools were. And above that, there was a platform. So there was a second floor. So you had another half the garage had another level and you just got to it from a ladder. Could I get up the ladder? There's a window there. Could I get out the window? How is it locked? How much quicker would I have to be than him? I'm probably more spry, but because he's got all that muscle, he can't move it as fast. I'm having this whole conversation in my head about what my escape route would be. I thought, well, what if I went under the chassis of the car? Is it chassis? I don't know how you pronounce it. Chassis is how it's spelled. What if I went under the car that was being worked on? Would he be able to pull me out? Could he reach me from under there? Probably. Okay, don't go in there. Don't go into the car. Could I bang the door out? What weapon could I have that he wouldn't be able to? I do more damage the first swing than he could, so he couldn't get out of my hands. I had this whole narrative I was trying to work out to keep, just in case, because he just gave me, it's the exact same feeling I had when I walked on the lava field. If you heard that story, when I walked on that lava field, my whole body gave me a kind of intuition that I was in mortal danger. And I had the same weird feeling. It felt like my body and the environment were one, that whatever he was putting out was going right through me and I could read it. And it was not safe and I was in real danger. And then I noticed his eyes started to move back and forth really quickly. Like he was really having a conversation in his head. He was really sorting through things. And then I thought, oh, He's wondering if if I kill him, how do I get rid of him? Do I put him in that drum? Do I put him in the trunk of a car and drive him away? Do I put him in a hockey bag? What's going to work? I really felt like he was thinking, okay, don't hurt this guy. He's innocent. Yeah, but you really want it. But oh my, and weirdly, this is the weird thing with compulsion and sexuality and gay men and hooking up and being lonely and feeling desperate and mental health. I was not in a great place. And the whole time I was having those conversations in my head about how to keep myself safe, I was also thinking, I wonder if we will have sex. Like, is he going to calm down? But if we start having sex, I probably can't have sex with him, because if I start having sex and he has a freak out in the middle of it, like that could go south really badly because I'd be really close to him. It'd be easy to snap my neck or whatever, like grab something. But, I'm convincing myself not to have sex with the guy who is so creepy that I feel like I'm in mortal danger. That is homophobia that gets deep down inside your brain. So I think to myself, okay, well, what are my options? My only option, the only thing that seems reasonable, is I need to get him to unlock the door. So how am I going to get him to unlock the door if he is a psychopath or he is having some kind of break? What's going to let him unlock the door for me, even if he wants to do me harm? And I thought, oh, I'll tell him that I have some pot in my car and I want to be a little buzzed too, because it would help me mellow out. And then even if he wants to kill me, he'll think, oh, it'll be easier to kill this guy if he's stoned. I'm clever, if nothing else. So I said to him, I want to smoke some pot. You could smoke some with me. It might help you calm down. But I kind of want to calm down. I want to, I'm a little nervous too. So do you mind if I go to my car? I'm just going to get some pot and I can smoke it out there. I could smoke it in here, whatever. He says, oh yeah, you could smoke in here. That was the longest sentence he said to me. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to get it then if it's already rolled, because I want him to think it was easy. So he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out his key and he goes to the door and he unlocks the door. And I'm watching him the whole time. It was like it was in slow motion. He was moving through thick air. And I'm watching him unlock the door and I'm thinking, okay, where's he going to stand in relationship to the door? How do I run for the door? When I get close enough, do I, like charge? No, let's just stay calm, because if you make any sudden moves, it might trigger him. And the whole point is to just keep him relaxed and not suspicious. So he opened the door and stood right by the door, and I had to walk right beside him. And I held my breath. I thought, okay, just look calm, keep moving, pretend like nothing's gone wrong. And I walked out the door, stepped out the door, stepped over that lip, which was intimidating, and walked out the door and walked to my car. And I unlocked the car and reached in as if I was looking for it. And then I stood back up and I said, and he was still inside. He was standing in the doorway. And I said, you know what, buddy? I'm just feeling a little tired and a little nervous too. I don't think this is the best night for you and I. So I'm going to go home and let you, just chill out, and you can figure out what you want to do some other time. And he said, okay, and closed the door. And I got in the car and I drove home. And I was vibrating the entire ride home because I thought that was a very narrow escape. And that is the story of me and the mechanic. That's a big story. So you can email me through my website at michaelvsmith.com. I want to say that it was amazing. Before tonight, I went on air. I was watching that free show that Lady Gaga organized with all those musicians, and I heard Jennifer Hudson tell the entire world that her favorite song was Hallelujah, which is Leonard Cohen, and that's what she sang. And I was like, man, it is a good day to be a Canadian poet. Gorgeous. Udi Brisker is asking me, how old was that guy? He was younger than me. He was probably about 30, 33, something like that. So I need to draw my story from the magic story bag. I think there's 6 of them in here. I wrote down some new things. I have at least another week. We're really pulling it out of our ass. Oh, this one I put in today. I just thought of this the other day. Tomorrow's story is the tree house. This is a nice story. It's a love story. You don't have to be scared off by today for tomorrow. Oh, Blue Joy, I love you too. You're a sweetheart. Blue Joy wrote that he loves me. I'm replying to the people who write me. It's so sweet. And so you can send, here's your selfie. You can take a picture of yourself right here and text it to me or send it through my website or tweet it out. And you can like, share, or subscribe any videos. I know this shirt is super cute. Thank you. And don't forget, you can also click the notification bell and it will tell you whenever I go live. Just want to thank everybody for yesterday. I had a really fun time. None of you told me that every once in a while, I watched the video this morning, so I know this. Every once in a while, my little cards were held up and you could see me getting changed in the corner because somebody, namely my husband, and I didn't practice and he lost track and didn't notice that you could see me changing. And none of you bitches told me. I don't mind because it's a homegrown show and that's all sweet and everything. And nobody saw my dick, I don't think. So I'm fine. I didn't break any community standards. But next time, could give my husband a little heads up, like, bitch, you got to do a better job. So that's it. Selfie notification. Yeah, that's all my things. Oh, I love you people. Thanks for listening. And we will see you tomorrow for a really sweet little love story. Mwah!